I hang my head in shame. Parody thy name is the NFL. Hi guys, Freddie B here. It is week 15. It's time for Freddie B's pathetic picks. And if there was ever a way to define pathetic picks, it was week 14 when your humble servant went 6-9. You talk about upsets. I pulled all my hair out because of all the upsets. I thought it was a fairly easy game to call, but boy, last weekend just took me to the cleaner. So let's take a look at the matchups slowly here for week 15. We got a big crowd coming in starting Thursday night with the LA Chargers, formerly of San Diego, against your Las Vegas Raiders, whatever they're going to call it already. Come Las Vegas. Both teams are 5-8. They are even. They have the exact same win-loss record. You are going to see parity games. It's going to be 5-8, 6-7. Everybody's going to be close this week. Los Angeles is going into Las Vegas. Both teams are 5-8. The Raiders have surprisingly become better lately, and they're at home. It's an 8:15 start on the East Coast. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Raiders, even though I don't really like the Raiders. But I will say this about Las Vegas. They did a really nice job with the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Shout out to my boys, Semper Fi, to all my Marine friends out there. We're having your Turvis Tumbler Marine Cup is keeping my RC Cola nice and cool today. Okay, so the Raiders go to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is going to win that one. And that is your Thursday. Then Saturday, we're starting Saturday games. Again, even Steven games. Minnesota at Cincinnati, Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. I mean, both those teams have the same record. So, and Cincinnati, surprising winner last week. I'm going to have to take Cincinnati in that one. So we're going to go with Vegas, the home team, and Cincinnati there. And then they lost to the Colts, and the Colts are playing Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh took it on the chin on Thursday night. I apologize by giving everybody the Hallmark Channel references. I should have said go to FX because Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was on. The original one with Gene Wilder, which is much better than the Johnny Depp version, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Although I've watched them both back to back. That's how boring my life is. But definitely think the Gene Wilder version, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, is better. Interesting, the kid that played Charlie Bucket in the original movie never did another movie in his life. He ended up going to veterinary school, and he's a vet in Schenectady, New York. Go figure that. Anyway, so we got Pittsburgh and Indianapolis, and we're going to say that Indianapolis is going to win that one because, you know what? Hard for them to lose. Of course, it's hard for Pittsburgh to lose. Both of these teams can't afford to lose this week. But one of them's going to. And since Indianapolis is a home team, I'm going to give them the home team advantage. Then we got Denver going to Detroit. Detroit, I thought was almost unbeatable, but they have proven that they are very beatable. And so that gives me pause, even though I'm going to tell you that they're playing at home against a resurgent Denver Broncos team. Here's a team that gave up 70 points to the Dolphins. We'll get to that debacle in a minute. And they have played like champions since then. So Denver at 7-6, going to Detroit 9-4. This game is much closer than a lot of people are going to think about it. Going to be difficult for Detroit to give, they lost to the Pack. Another part of these pathetic picks. I can't believe I lost these, but nonetheless. So I'm going to give Detroit because of home field, and they are a better team, and they don't have as many injuries, and I'm going to say that they're going to be Denver. So now we're on to December 17th. December 17th, Sunday, we're going to Chicago at Cleveland. Okay? Chicago is surprisingly at 5-8 because, quite frankly, I thought, let me get my pin in here. You know what I keep doing? I keep hitting 6 instead of 3 on my pin, and that's why my computer won't come up. So give me 1 second. Here we go. Oh my. Okay. Give me a second. I'll pull this up. Here we go. Week 15 schedule. Got it. I thought I had it. Hang on. Pull that up. And we'll let that book in. Okay, so Chicago's at 5-8, playing Cleveland. Great game the other night. Cleveland won that. They're 8-5, and they are playing at 1 o'clock. And I got to give that one to Cleveland, even though Chicago is feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty sporty, I would think, with that win they had last weekend. But again, we're going to go with not the Bears, but the Browns. Okay, Scotty? So there I am. I'm picking that. Then Kansas City at New England. I cannot believe the Patriots won. I was dumbfounded. I literally watched Hallmark movie. I didn't think it was going to be a good game. Turns out to be a pretty damn good game. They're playing Kansas City, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be a good game. Patrick Mahomes is PO'd because of a call that didn't go his way. Here is the deal, guys. If you are a wide receiver and you go out on the other side of the lines, you can turn to the official and you can say, am I okay? And he can tell you yes or no or maybe. But it's not incumbent upon the official to say, hey, you're lining up offsides. So it's the receiver's responsibility. He is the player on the field to ask the official who is officiating a game, am I legal? The official can answer that question. But he can't sit there and proffer advice. He's not the coach. You get it? So Mahomes was wrong, and he looked like an idiot. But it was sure entertaining, wasn't it? It was. I'll tell you what, he's going to take that brand of entertainment at 8-5, and Kansas City's going to go in there, and they're going to kick the crap out of the Patriots. Okay? Got your bike. Take the points. Take Kansas City. They got something to prove. Then we go to the battle of the NFC North. This is ridiculous. You got Atlanta at 6-7 against the Carolina Panthers. Chuck, sorry. The Panthers are playing now for the number 1 pick in the college draft. That's the only thing they can play for. They're 1-12, for God's Chuck. They're 1-12. But I know you're going to the game. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope it's not too cold. Because Atlanta's going to go in there, and guess what? Freddie Bz is going to pick your Carolina Panthers to win game number 2 against the Atlanta Falcons. Why? The Falcons aren't that good either, quite frankly. The entire NFC North, where the Falcons and the Bucks and all them play, suck anyway. And any team can win on any given Sunday. Plus, Carolina's playing at home. They've got a little bit of pride. And they have a 1-game cushion since the Patriots are off the ceiling. So they can afford to win a game and still get the number 1 pick. So everything's lining up for a Carolina win against the Atlanta Falcons. Okay? Next, Tampa Bay at Green Bay. The Battle of the Bays. Here's what I hope. I hope it snows. I hope it snows. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Tampa Bay coming off a win over Atlanta last week, and Green Bay on a high, contact high. And both these teams need to win. Tampa Bay's going up there. It's Green Bay, and I hate to say this, guy. Both teams, they have equal records. I'm going to give Green Bay the win. This is the first time, legitimately, I've gone against the Buccaneers this year. But I think Green Bay, and I love, you know me and Baker Mayfield, we're like this. But I don't think Baker Mayfield's got it anymore. Then we go to Houston, Tennessee. What a debacle last week. That's the only thing I can say about the Miami-Tennessee Monday night game. That was unbelievable. I've never seen more incompetent play, especially on the part of the Miami Dolphins defense. That was just incredibly stupid. I don't know if the defensive coordinator was that dumb or if just the players are just that stupid. I hate to say that, Miami. You know I love you. Greatest football team. Getting over a cold, stayed up late, waiting for a win, probably set me back 2 days. Should have taken the rest. So Houston's going in. They're at 7-6 against Tennessee, 5-8. Tennessee coming off a huge win. I mean, they have got to be, that quarterback they got, whatever his name is, he was pretty good. He did okay. He was jacked up. If he keeps that emotion and everything going, they could win against Houston. And the Texans have kind of floundered. They've been on the downspout. I'm going to give Tennessee the win there as we go to the next game. The 1 o'clock game, the game of all games. The game that you can never get. Doesn't matter what teams. It doesn't matter what the standings are of these teams or where they are. One could be in the basement. One could be in the penthouse. It doesn't matter. This is the New York Football Jets coming down to Miami. 1 o'clock. Miami's 9-4, coming off a loss. They cannot afford, nor will they, lose again. They will beat the Jets that are 5-8. The Jets are going to get their ass whooped, and I'm only saying that because what Miami should have done to Tennessee, they're going to take out on the New York Football Jets. Now, I know, Marty, you're saying, Freddie, let's put a Hunsky on this. Put a honey on it. I'm not going to put any money on it because it is the Jets. And as I've said many, many times, to be consistent, the Jets could win 2 games all year and lose every other game, and the 2 games they would win would be against the Dolphins. And the Dolphins could lose 2 games all year, and it would be to the Jets. That, again, this divisional rivalry stuff, you got to throw the records out. Jets against Miami, but I'm taking the Dolphins at 1 o'clock. New York Giants, New York Football Giants at 5-8 against New Orleans at 6-7. They're going down to New Orleans. I'll tell you what, New Orleans has got the urine. I don't know who has the urine smell advantage, New Orleans or the Giants, but it's going to be maybe hot and steamy in New Orleans, so it'll be coming up off the pavement. The Giants are going to New Orleans. I'm going to give New Orleans the win there, though, at 6-7. Then you got the Washington Redskins. Surprising 4-9 at the LA Rams, who are 6-7. Both of these teams are on the suck to mediocre list. I don't think anybody's going to watch this game except if you're in those areas. But because LA's at home and they're 6-7, I'm going to give them the win there. San Francisco at Arizona. San Francisco may be the best team in the NFC. They're going to go in and just punk the Cardinals at 3-10. And the Dallas and Buffalo, 425, probably one of the games of the day. Dak Prescott and the 10-3 Dallas Cowboys are going up to the frozen plain. That is Buffalo, New York. Buffalo at 7-6. They got a slight. They're clinging on to a playoff hope, onto a wild card, perhaps, maybe. They really are in a must-win situation. But Dallas, a really good win and a pretty decent 10-3 football team. I'm going to have to say Dallas is going to win on the road, and I'm going to give Dallas the edge there. Then next at 8:20, again, Jacksonville Jaguars 8-5 against 10-3 Baltimore. Both 2 good teams. Jacksonville, they lost last week. Baltimore is legitimately maybe the best team in the AFC. As much as I hate to say that, they could go to Jacksonville. They could do 2 things. They could probably, without any shoes on, kill somebody, and they could beat Jacksonville at 8:20. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go with Jacksonville in this one. I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take Jacksonville over the Ravens. And so I'm circling that one. I circled Dallas, don't worry. And then Monday night, Philadelphia against Seattle. Really, you should see what else is on Monday night. I'm sure there's some good college basketball on or something like that. Because I think Philadelphia is going to beat Seattle. They're playing in Seattle. So for Seattle, that's a nice 5:15 start. I remember being out in Seattle watching Monday Night Football, and in some cases, it was 9 o'clock. You would think it would start there at 6. It starts at, or whatever. They held it over for an hour. I didn't find out until my brother called me, and he goes, "Did you see that?" And I go, "See what?" He goes, "The game's been on for an hour," and I just started watching it being played in Seattle while I was there. I think it was a Dolphins game, actually. This is many, many years ago. They probably don't do it anymore. But so, out in Seattle, if you're at the SeaTac Red Line, which is now the DoubleTree, go up to the bar. I don't know what the bartender's name, but let's say he's a guy walks into a cricket. A grasshopper walked into a bar. It's so funny. Grasshopper walks into a bar. He sits down. The bartender goes, "You know, we got a drink named after you." And he goes, "Steve?" Anyway, Philadelphia, Seattle. I'm taking Philadelphia. So there you have it. It's week 15. Freddie B's pathetic picks. Hopefully I'll do better than 6-9 that I did last week. I'm pretty sure I will. Take these picks to the bank. These are guaranteed games that should be played, assuming there's no nuclear attack. I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day. Ta-ta for now.